Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dusty Trails and Drone Tales. I'm Dan, your host, and back with us today is Copilot Doug.
He's on the deal.
Yep. He's going to be the navigator today, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the blanks on how you get from St. Martin's to Alma. We're starting here at the St. Martin's Harbor today, and we're going to be going all the way up to Alma and trying not to do the same trail twice. And of course, we're going to try and get a GPX, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Cool. So I'm going to track, he's going to track, and surely the fuck out of the two of us, we're going to be able to come up with some sort of GPX file so that you can get as lost as we do when you try and do this trail. But in all honesty, though, we did Goshen to Alma last year, so we're basically filling in that last little bit from St. Martin's to Goshen. We took a lot of the trails that we ran last year when we did the Chicken Shine giveaway and sort of overlaid them onto the map that we're doing today. Changed things up a little bit, so hopefully we can get there in one piece and get some scenery in. What do you think, Doug?
Hopefully we don't need the St. Bernard's with the brandy casks, but a drink might be nice.
A drink might be good. But yeah, hopefully we don't get lost, and so stay tuned and see where we end up, and if we can get there and back in one piece. It's just the one machine today. We're looking at doing about 253 kilometers, so hopefully we make it. And don't need another one to come rescue us, because Doug's not feeling up to driving his own today. So on that note, let's get on the trails and get her going.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, for sure. So as always with our rides from St. Martin's, we're heading out on the Vaughan Creek Road. We left from the harbor in St. Martin's, went up over Orange Hill through the old covered bridge, and now we're on Vaughan Creek Road. So what we're going to do is, in typical Dusty Trails and Drone Tales fashion, is we're going to give you turn by turn at landmarks along the way. So that if you did want to recreate this ride, in addition to tracking the breadcrumbs on our GPX track today, you'll know what to be on the lookout for when it comes up. And of course, will also be the random footage that we normally do, just scenic views, maybe some drone footage today. Got a couple of drones with us, and hopefully we don't get too lost. But that'll just be well. You know what they say, you get what you pay for, right? And the GPX file is going to be free. So
might be some extra turns.
Yeah, a few extra turns here and there, because the last time we did this run, we were with people who knew where they were going. But in all honesty, we did overlay some of the routes from last year, and in doing so, one of our wrong turns from 5 waterfalls in a day led us to discover that, we can connect the dots between St. Martin's and Goshen, and then hop on a mix of snowmobile and ATV trails today and make it all the way to Alma. So, you think we're going to make it?
A glorious happenstance led to this.
That's true.
Not a wrong turn, a glorious happenstance.
Yeah, you're the optimist, I'm the pessimist. I call it getting lost. But anyhow, we'll do our best to give you a complete run today. We're looking at roughly 253 kilometers based on what I've got mapped out. Could turn into more with some wrong turns. Who knows? And maybe one of these days I'll do a little live stream on how I map out trails in Ride Command on the channel, and teach you how to do that from your computer and bring them into your phone, so that you can create some runs too, and maybe even share them with us if you think we'd be interested in doing those runs. So and if there's potentially an organized event going on in your area that you think oh, these guys would like it, or you know, we'd like to have them cover the event, just send us an email. The email address will be at the end of the show, and we'll do our best to get out there. So enjoy the run today, folks. It's probably going to be a long one. It's going to be hot, and hopefully we don't set the woods on fire, but then again, we're going to use common sense. Nova Scotia is in a total woods closure. New Brunswick is not in the same situation. The province of New Brunswick released a statement yesterday stating that, you know, we're a bit more humid here. We haven't had the windy conditions that Nova Scotia has had. So, you know, we're not going to be doing any cookouts, not even with the propane device. We brought lunches and coolers. We're not going to be driving or parking over any tall grass so that the hot exhaust from the machine won't set the woods on fire. And neither one of us are smoking, so there's no cigarette butts to throw out the window. Doesn't matter to me if you smoke or not. Doug and I both enjoy a cigar every now and then.
And we're smoking hot.
Fuck. And even if we were enjoying a cigar today, we would not be throwing it out the window. We'd keep an ashtray inside the machine and pour some water on it and dispose of it in the proper way. So anyhow, let's enjoy the run today, folks, and we'll see where we end up and how we get there. done with the Vaughan Creek Road for the way up. We're just passing Saddleback Cemetery. It's on our left here. So we're on Trail 18, hanging right. If you hang a left up here, you actually end up towards Saddleback. You end up on Saddleback Road heading towards Route 111. If you get to the Saddleback Road, you can hang a left, do some unofficial, shall we call it, unofficial paved running, and end up with the...
We would never espouse that.
No, back settlement road, and then there's some other roads you can kind of work through there to get yourself to Hampton. Hampton ATV Club is actually working on their first trail right now. Doug, you were there for the first work day, I believe.
Yep, we made it almost a half a kilometer through, and then the little mini excavator blew a fuel line, and the skies opened up, so we called it a day. So we're just waiting to get back to it. But that will go from the extension of Villa out to the Hall Road to get closer to the trails and go past my place.
Nice. And then I'm sure there'll be more plans to hook up with some other trails in the future. So we just turned off to Trail 18 right now on to Trail 31, which is going to take us up towards McDonald Road and eventually Dix Lake Road. The road in between McDonald Road and Dix Lake, it's had some work done to it recently. The reason why we didn't take Trail 18 is, I mean, we can still get to the Adair's area via Trail 18. It's just so fucking slow and rocky. Not really a fan because we do have a lot of trail to cover today. So don't really have time to go slow and rocky. We just have time to go quick and road. So anyhow, we're making our way through here now. So that was our first landmark to get you through. And we're what, 22 kilometers in now?
22, 23, yep.
Something like that. So 230 something left to go. So, you know, if we can get an overall average of 25-ish kilometers an hour today, should be about 10 hours worth of running. So, you know, with stops and whatnot, I'm thinking we'll probably be gone 12, 13 hours today. So if you are going to do this run, either break it up in two, do one A to B one day, stay overnight. If you're coming from Alma, you know, you can stay Fundy Woods Campground, Century Farms, Campground, Seaside Tent and Trailer Park. Or if you want to do bed and breakfast, there's a new one that used to be, what was it called before? Shit.
Not the Wayside, or not.
Now, the Bay restaurant used to be there, claimed the best burger in St. Martin's.
Fundy Footprint?
Yes, Fundy Footprints is what it's called now. There's also the...
There's cabins in St. Martin's, etc. I'm sure you'd find something on Airbnb, Verbo, whatever.
Yep, there's even some Quaco something.
Oh, the domes.
Yeah, there's the domes. There's cabins right up on Yeoman's Road with overlooking the caves there. You can find those on Facebook with a link to book. Definitely some Airbnbs. So, you know, lots of food, lots of stuff. Just basically pack your supplies for the day and head down to St. Martin's, find a place to stay. If you're not looking to do 12, 13 hours in a day, but if not, we're going to try and prove that it's doable to do this in one day.
If you're not as crazy as us, find a place to stay.
Yeah, and you know, definitely if you're leaving from St. Martin, St. John area, you know, you could park at the trailhead on Trail 18 on the Quaco Road, come up to Trail 18 all the way and end up where we are now. You know, you'll just extend your ride a bit. You know, totally doable from St. John, St. Martin, Sussex, all those areas to get to Alma, and we're going to prove that fact today. Hopefully. So right now, Trail 811 peels off to the left. It basically makes a loop and ends up into the same spot that we're going to be on anyway. So right now we've just hung a left onto McDonald Road. And if you continue straight up here, you will end up at Route 111 again. Kind of in between the Saddleback Road and the Markham-Shepherdy Road. You know, so Route 111, get to the end of McDonald Road. Unofficial pave running again. Left takes you to Saddleback, right takes you to Markham-Shepherdy Road. But what we're going to do is we're going to hang a right here and take us onto a road connecting us between McDonald Road and Dix Lake Road. You know, basically look for these skidder tires on the corner.
He has not lost it, folks. He was just showing you the tires.
Yes, just showing you the tires, not trying to go over them. You know, the camera's got a wide enough field of view, but can't quite pick up everything. And you'll know you're in the right spot if after you turn at the tires, you look off to your left and you see an old Dodge school bus with not a fucking window left in it. Basically late 60s, early 70s. And it was probably somebody's camp at one time. And it looks like somebody has done some patchwork to the road here.
Smoothing some of the holes.
Yep. Well, I mean, somebody's got a little bit of a hayfield going on here. So I'm assuming it's a farm along the McDonald Road somewhere. And then there's some sort of trail off to the right where the tractor goes in there too. You can see lots of tractor tracks. So we're just basically going to stick on this road and bring you some random footage because, you know, since the first time we came through here, there has been some work and widening done at the Dix Lake end. So we're just going to show you how much better the trail is now than it has been. So stay tuned and we'll pick you up at the Dix Lake Road. Okay, so this is Dix Lake Road that we're pulling up perpendicular to right now. When we did the 5 waterfalls in a day video last year, we came from the right to get back to Sheppardy Road. So if you hang a right here, you can head back towards Trail 18 and Big Salmon River. You'll come out somewhere between, like, I believe Mary Pitcher and the Big Salmon River Trail. And so we're hanging a left here on Dix Lake Road, which is going to take us down to Sheppardy Road, and then down at the end of Dix Lake Road here, in traditional fashion, when we're trying to get towards Sussex, we're going to hang a right on Sheppardy Road and head up towards Sussex that way and Adair's. If you do hang a left, you will come out to like the Markinville Road / Sheppardy Road at not far from Jeffrey's Corner in Hammondvale, just, you know, outside of Hillsdale. Saddleback Road comes out Hillsdale, and so does McDonald Road. So we're just in the next little sort of dot on the map up if you hang a left up here and go out the Markinville Road. But again, we're going to do a right onto at the end of Dix Lake Road and go up Sheppardy Road again. So we're coming up to the end of Dix Lake Road here. I forgot to show you back on the trail between McDonald Lake and Dix Lake Road where 811 would have came back out on, but you know, can't remember everything. But if you do show this on Ride Command with the snowmobile trails overlaid, then you should be able to see where that loop goes through.
We're not alone.
Well, it looks like somebody else is out today, so we're not the only crazy ones. So right now we just hung a right onto Shepherdy Road. We'll keep on going through here until we get to the Ranger Camp up by Adair's, which will be our next landmark that we discovered serendipitously on the 5 waterfalls in a day video. So enjoy some random highlights through here on Shepherdy Road, and we'll pick you up at the next turnoff. approaching the Ranger Camp here at Shepherdy Road. This is a parking spot here for Sussex Valley ATV Club. Off to our right is the Fundy Trail Parkway heading towards St. Martin's. So we're going to make a little left here, head towards Adair's in Sussex for a few meters. Maybe what, 100 meters, 200 meters?
Not even.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull off onto this road. This is how we thought we were supposed to get to Quiddy Falls last year when we did the 5 waterfalls in a day video. But it's not.
It was a shortcut.
Yeah, it wasn't a shortcut. And then we thought we were taking some shortcuts back on some trails, and those never turned out to be shortcuts either, did they?
They were just diversions.
Yes. So actually this runs, part of Trail 3403 runs along this, like parallel to it, some of it over top of it. But I believe this was called Donegal Road.
As I recall, I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to take Donegal Road almost until until we get to the 114. Donegal Road kind of ends up there, and then we're going to make a little short left onto another road. When it comes into view on the map, I'll be able to tell you what road it's called. But for now, we're going to stick on this one for a bit, although Copilot Doug has his map out. I don't know if you can see that far ahead yet or not.
I was going to look on Google Maps and see what it says.
Oh, that works too.
Signal's weak and we're not updating that fast.
Okay, well, we'll see what Ride Command has to say once we get closer to the other one. But I'm pretty sure when I was mapping this out on the computer, on Ride Command Online, it was Donegal Road. So we're going to go with that. How about that?
Works for me.
All right, so let's enjoy a bit of Donegal Road, and next turn off, we will let you know where we're at. Distance there in the middle of your screen, and just going to pull over here to the left a little bit. Those were the windmills where we went from Goshen to Alma last year on the run where we did the chicken shine giveaway. So we're almost there. We're just about to the end of the Donegal Road. Just wanted to kind of pull off in the middle here and just show you the windmills. But we're almost to the end of the Donegal Road, almost to the 114. Copilot Doug's trying to show me something on the map here.
No, I was just showing you that we're just a short ways from the 114.
Yes, so basically around this corner, then we're going to make a slight left onto another road, which will take us out to the 114. So once we get up to that area, we'll show you what that looks like.
A few moments later.
So we've kind of made a left, like a long left on the Donegal Road, and come to this intersection here. And there's a couple of trails off the right and left. But if you stay basically on the good road, this turns into Morton Road. And no, we're not talking about Morton Avenue in Moncton. But now just a short jaunt, and we'll be on Route. We'll be coming up to the intersection of Route 114. So, like I say, this section of Morton Road here isn't very long. Maybe a kilometer and a half. Do you think? I'm not really watching the odometer here, but
barely a kilometer, I would say. Sled Trail 850.
Oh, it also sled trail 850?
I just saw a sign back there.
Okay. So you can kind of see in the middle of the screen the windmills off into the distance. Hopefully the camera will pick that up. And right now we're getting on to Route 114 on official pavement running. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a left here and go a short distance, maybe a kilometer or two, up Route 114, and then we're going to take a right.
There's a sled trail there that will do it too.
Oh yeah, we could take the sled trail as well.
Clear my way.
Clear your way?
Yep.
All right, so left onto 114 here, and we're now entering South Branch.
I remember that somebody pointing that out, sled trail, where the ATVs can go as well.
Okay, yeah, and it basically comes out here and crosses there.
Yep.
I've got another trail up here that I'm going to take a right on. Or a road. Right now we're into new territory, so
It's got to be it.
yep. We're hanging right here onto Cleveland Road. So what we're going to do is continue straight here on Cleveland Road for a bit. Probably go by some windmills and whatnot. And we're going to try and make our way towards Alma via Crooked Creek.
Follow the pole line.
Yep, I have a feeling, or a very good feeling, that we're going to be around some windmills again. So let's go along here along Cleveland Road for a bit and check out some highlights. Right now we're coming up on the intersection at Goshen Road, so if we hang a left we'll end up back by the Goshen Snowmobile Club shelter, but we're hanging right here and we're going to carry on from here towards Crooked Creek. Right here on our left, we're coming up on the intersection of Russiantown Road and Goshen Road. So we're already on Goshen Road and we're going to stay on there for a little bit. So we're following a right. If you're coming from Alma, you're going to hang a left onto Goshen Road, not turn right onto Russiantown Road. And it looks like we're going to stay on here for a little while yet. So far the running's been pretty good today, Doug, wouldn't you say?
This section of the road's amazing.
Yeah, we've been so far trucking right along after we hit Shepherdie Road doing 60, 70 kilometers an hour. So I'm sure there's going to be sections that we did last year where the slope going is going to be a bit slower, but if we can keep up this pace, it's definitely doable in a day. But we might end up eating our words at the end of the day. Who knows? Need to bring some salt and ketchup for those words, right?
Holy, some nice spots.
Yeah, really nice spots through here. Quite a few camps. Very nice spot through here. Anyhow, yep, they have electricity, which is a bonus. Anyhow, we're going to continue on here for a bit. Looks like we're about to make a... Oh, here we go. Covered bridge. Canavacasas River number 23, built in 1910. Malone Bridge. Well, there, I bet you weren't expecting to see that today. Nope. I know I wasn't. So we're just going to keep on going here for a little bit, a little left, and keep following the road. So just before the Goshen Road turns into a pavement, we're going to make a right here. This is the Hubli Road. And don't worry, if you missed the first right, you can turn right again. And so we're turning right onto the Hubli Road here. There's a car that just turned on here, so we're just going to pull over and let them pass. And then we're going to follow Hubli Road for a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have let him pass, do you think?
Dust cloud.
Dust cloud, and it doesn't look like they're going to be going that fast.
Give it a minute. Go slow.
So anyhow, we just turned right onto Hubli Road. So if you're coming from Alma, you're going to hang a left onto the Goshen Road. And I'm sure if we would have kept going straight, there's probably some other roads that we could have connected on to get back to where we want to go. But this seems to be a fairly direct route to Crooked Creek and the Crooked Creek Covered Bridge. You know, we're going to do some switchbacking down the mountain, all that good stuff. So anyhow, so stay with us for a bit, and once we get this car out from out in front of us, we'll bring you some more scenic highlights along the way. So this is Mechanic Road that runs perpendicular to us. So we're going to hang a left here, and we're going to go up Mechanic, and then we're going to get off where? Fir Grove. Fir Grove. So yes, Mechanic Road here, short little distance to Fir Grove. We're going to turn, what is it, right onto Fir Grove? Or left? I think it's right.
I believe it's right. Well, yeah, take right.
Okay.
It's right at the corner.
So we're going to continue on Mechanic Road here for a bit. Looks like another good road. You know, not beating the piss out of the bike today. Yet. Again, we could have some. We could eat our words probably.
Seems we've lost our friends.
Yes.
Or at least their dust.
Yep. So now we can actually see where we're going. This is a nice little drive down through here. Yeah. They must have went the other way, which is fine by me. Little field there off to the right. So yes, we're going to continue on the Mechanic Road here for a bit and catch up with you at the next intersection. So So right now we're coming up to the junction of Trail 31. Snowmobile Trail 855 has ended. So Mechanic Road continues off to the left here. And I think when we did Goshen to Alma the other day, or last year, I think we came from the direction that's off to the left, because on our right here, come on, I remember this sign here and commenting on it, follow the trail to Alma. So right now we're going to turn right onto Fir Grove Road, which is basically, according to the sign, okay, Alma's 36 kilometers. And it is Snowmobile Trail 31.
I do remember this.
Wasn't there a shelter up here that we stopped at too?
I'm not sure where the shelter was. There was one along the way. It may be up here.
Well, we're going to find out anyway.
It was just before going down to Crooked Creek.
Yeah.
Covered bridge and everything, I believe.
Yeah, there was a couple of shelters we stopped at that day. Fuck, I'm going to have to go back and watch the video to try and remember now. Which, if you're watching from home, we do need some watch hours and we need more subscribers, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Hitting that like button doesn't cost you a dime, and it takes about a second to do it. Really helps out the channel. And subscription-wise, we have crossed the 300 subscription mark. Our next milestone is 500 subscribers, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button and be the first to know when we release a new video. So, we appreciate you keeping watching now.
And if you have trails and stuff going on, like you said earlier, and send the invite.
Absolutely. Send the invite to Dusty Trails and Drone Tales, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you've got some suggested areas for us to check out or an event going on, and we'll do our best to get there.
Or if you even want to show us around.
Yeah, or if you want to show us around. We're open to being guided as well.
We love new trails.
Yes. have made it to the Boyd Mountains shelter of the Goshen Snowmobile Club. Looks like there's some other trails that go off in the area here, but we're going to carry on here. sign, if we were to hang a left, we would head out towards Elgin and Petitcodiac. So it's like Trail 846, and we just came from the Sussex way, and Church's Corner was back behind us. So maybe someday.
No, Church's Corner is ahead 10 kilometers.
Oh, Church's Corner is ahead 10 kilometers. Whoops.
See back in the trees further?
Yep, and then Sussex is 45 kilometers behind us. And it looks like Petitcodiac is 40 kilometers off to the left.
There you go.
So maybe what we'll have to do in a future episode, what do you think, Copilot Doug, is come up this way, head out to Petitcodiac, and then go out through Salisbury and whatnot and do some of those trails.
Sounds like a possibility.
All right. Well, if folks, you want to see that in a future episode, we come back out here and head out towards Petitcodiac, try and find a loop that way, by all means, drop a comment and let us know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, and we'll just have to schedule the time to do it. So, not too far after the Boyd Mountain Shelter, we've come to the intersection of McDonald Road. So we're going to hang a right onto McDonald Road, keep on that for a little while. Does it look like it carries on for a while there, Doug, on our planned route? Or
I zoomed in a lot. A kilometer or two before we come to Church's Corner, I think it is.
All right, so we'll carry on here and then head out towards Church's Corner. Through the management of television, we've come to the end of the McDonald Road, not to be confused with the McDonald Road out towards Hillsdale Way that we passed through this morning. But now we have on the left onto the Church Hill Road. So we're going to carry on Church Hill Road for a bit to our next intersection, which probably isn't that far. It looks like
it's a ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got to go up for past a lake or two, and I think that's that four-way intersection. We do a little jog to the right.
Okay. It's starting to come back to me now, I think.
On to Collier Mountain Road.
Okay, yep, Collier Mountain Road makes sense. We'll be on that for a while. But meanwhile, we're going to stay on McDonald Road for a little bit. So last year when we came through, that gate's closed over there, but
we went around it. It was narrow as hell over there.
Yes, I remember that now. We went around the gate.
Down through the water.
Down through the water, and then we came out here, and I believe this is Polaris River, isn't it? Yes, it is. We're about to cross Polaris River. So this is the bridge over Polaris River. Polaris River has a big to-do. We'll call it a to-do. On the May long weekend or some sort of May something. When spring is here, and I think a lot of people go tubing, go mud, and stuff like that. I think.
Hopefully the water's higher in May.
Yep, so now we're coming to another intersection here. Hang a right would be towards Elgin, which is River Road. And so we're still on Churchill Road, and we're going to continue straight through here. For obvious reasons, I would say it's called Churchill Road because there's a church on a hill here.
Good guess.
Am I fucking Captain Obvious or what?
I'm not betting against it.
So, anywhoos, that was Churchill Road. Now I'm just looking at the map here again. We're actually on Hillside Road. Yep. So we came to the end of Churchill Road. Off to the left was River Road, which head towards Elgin. And now we're on Hillside Road, heading out towards where we want to eventually end up, Crooked Creek in Alma. Alma is, so we're going to carry on here on the Collier Mountain Road for a little bit. It's a little bit of washboardy coming up the hill, vibrates the hell out of you, but I suppose we're supposedly off-roading, although we're on roads, off-roading today. So anyhow, we're going to carry on here for a bit, and I can't remember how long we stay on this road. Does it look for another little bit, or is it another short jaunt there, Doug?
Quite a ways. The road may change names, but it looks like we stay on the main drag.
All right, so let's keep on going then, shall we? To Blackwood Lake Road, which I believe takes us out through the wind farms. Judging by how the road's fixed up, I think that's probably how they got them in here. But if we would have continued on straight, we would have stayed on Collier Mountain Road for a bit. I'm not exactly sure where that would have taken us because I didn't really explore that on the map. But a lot of these roads connect to each other and make squares. I think, is that a fair assumption, Doug?
Yep.
So really coming through here, it's probably fairly difficult to get lost. If you've got an app like Ride Command, or even if you can get a signal with Google Earth or Google Maps, you could probably find some trails or some roads that would connect together and get you to where you want to go anyway. But we're trying to do some new trails over what we did last year as well. So I've worked in some bypasses around the Goshen Alma loop we did last year, and of course you've got the added bonus of St. Martin's, and coming back towards St. Martin's is going to be a different route than obviously what we took to Goshen last year. So we're going to try and change it up a bit, because that's what we like change and new trails around here. So as we carry on, we're coming through the wind farm here, and I think this is Kent Hills. I could be wrong, but I think somebody last year on the Goshen to Alma video commented this is Kent Hills Wind Farm. And so there's all kinds of roads in this area that just go left, right, straight. You know it. They all connect to each other. So really, you could even spend a full day in here just exploring roads and wind farm and views and all that stuff. So we're going to carry on here for a bit. We're still actually making our way through the wind farm, and so when you see this main exit straight ahead and stop sign, don't take the main exit. We're going to turn right here and head towards Kent Road. And of course, there's still more windmills or wind farm as far as the eye can see, almost. And so now we're heading down towards Kent Road, I think. Kent Road? Or are we on Kent Road?
I think Kent Road is back there. This might be a trail. I'm not sure. It doesn't have a name on the map. I think it's just random Windmill Road. Windmill Road X.
We hereby name the random Windmill Road X. So we will update Google Maps when we get back and claim this road as Windmill Road X. Nah, probably not. That's too much fucking work.
If we claim it, are we responsible for it? Do we have to plow it?
Hell no. And Point Park, which is Riverview, are off on Trail 873 off to our left. Crooked Creek Lookout and Lumsden Lookout are 18 kilometers off to our right. So we're going to hang off to the right, stay on Snowmobile Trail 31 here. Hillsborough is 56 kilometers, Moncton's 95 kilometers. But we're not going to Moncton today. We'll also have to figure out how to get to Moncton from here. Interesting.
If they've got a sign saying it's got to be possible.
Yep. Wonder if it's open for year-round use or not. I mean, yes, these are snowmobile trails we're on right now, but it's a widely known fact that you know, people use these in the summer. And I believe one of the food places along here on the trail that the Goshen Snowmobile Club has, I believe they stay open during weekends on the summer. I thought I saw that somewhere on Facebook for the ATV crowd. So I think you know, we're doing pretty good here today, following the snowmobile trails. It's definitely a sure way to get here, and I can just imagine how good this would be in the winter, all groomed. You can probably just fly along through here. And
a foot or two of snow to smooth it out.
Yeah. Although this is probably the rockiest section we've hit all day, other than the little bit of 31 down by Trail 18 and Saddleback. But other than that, it's been really good going all day today. Intersection of Trail 865. We're going to keep going straight here, but if you hang a left on the Trail 865 in 8 kilometers, you end up heading towards Caledonia Mountain. But we're going to keep on going straight here. Sweet Jesus. Oh no, I suppose that's a dirt bike. From a distance it looked like a street bike, and like, what the fuck? So we're still on Trail 31, which is going to take us towards Crooked Creek. Just saw the sign back there a few feet ago. But anyhow, we're going to keep on going here down Trail 31, and we're going to switch back down the side of the mountain and all that good shit, and eventually end up at Crooked Creek, not too far after it, at the covered bridge there. You think?
I think there's also a lookout above.
Oh yes. There's a London lookout we saw on the sign back there, and then there's Crooked Creek lookout. This could potentially be a lookout up here. I don't know. Like I say, we're unguided today, so in our defense, we're left unsupervised. had a quick bite for lunch. Had a look off here. Could be that whatever started with M lookout that we saw back at the sign back there, because we're almost to the Crooked Creek covered bridge. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch back down the side of the mountain here, and that'll eventually take us to the Crooked Creek covered bridge. So it is a long way down. Hopefully you enjoyed the drone footage of the Caledonia Gorge. We saw a sign back there that we were entering the Caledonia Gorge protected area just before the little turnoff for lunch on the side of the mountain. So figured, oh well, you know, what the heck, let's get the drone out there and see what it looks like from above. And so now we're just going to make our way to the Crooked Creek covered bridge and be there shortly. Successfully switched back down the side of the Caledonia Mountain, or whatever mountain that was. Caledonia Mountain, you think?
Well, Caledonia Mountain's that way.
Okay, the mountain.
Not sure.
Okay, we'll call it the mountain next to Caledonia Mountain. So what we're going to do here is hang a right on Trail 31 and keep heading out towards Crooked Creek, which will eventually take us to Riverside, Albert, and then we'll
Riverside, Albert, Alma.
Yep, and then we'll do Riverside, Albert, to Alma. And I just saw a sign back there that said Kick-Ass Run. So they must have had some sort of run here not too long ago. Oh, wasn't there something going on with Kick-Ass food trucks?
Yeah.
Yes. So they obviously had something going on here with Kick-Ass food trucks not too long ago. They run into it today. That being a Friday afternoon at like 20 after 1, I know that. But anyhow, we'll see how this goes, and we'll meet up with you again at the Crooked Creek covered bridge. folks, well, we've made it to the Crooked Creek Covered Bridge. Bridge is still standing since the last time we've been here. And that's going to do it for this episode of Dusty Trails and Drone Tales. So we're just going to turn around and go the fuck back home. No, just shitting you. We're going to end this episode here. We're just about at our halfway point. If not at the halfway point. So we're going to wrap things up here. So stay tuned next week and check out our next episode. You think we're going to make it?
We have to.
Yeah, we're at the point of no return at this point. So now that we're past the point of no return, tune in next week to see if we can make it successfully all the way to Alma. Hopefully nobody has to come and get us there, and that we can make it all the way back to St. Martin's. So until the next time, folks, don't forget to tune in to the part 2 of this episode next week. And may your drones always stay airborne and tell the trail that your trails always be dusty, and keep it rubber side down. Have a good one, folks.